again. I am your host, Aileen Dizon. I am an attorney licensed here in the state of Texas and in the Philippines. And I'm also the managing partner of the Legal Dizon Law Firm based here in Houston. Maraming salamat at sinasamahan nyo na naman kami ngayon sa ating show sa Usapang Off the Record. Magandang umaga, magandang tanghali at magandang gabi sa inyong lahat. Saan man kayo naroon at ano man ang inyong ginagawa, maraming salamat at alam kong sa dami ng pwede niyong magawa. Sa araw na ito, ang pinili niyo ay maupo at manood sa Usapang Off the Record. Kaya naman, tune in because today we are gonna have a very good discussion about immigration topic. But before that, I just wanna let you know na ang Usapang Off the Record ay produced by Roof Chamber Radyo Pinoy. So, ang ating show ay isa lamang sa mga mapapanood ninyo sa Roof Chamber Radio Pinoy. Kaya naman, para ma-update kayo, like na and follow the Roof Chamber Radio Pinoy Facebook page. At syempre pa, mag-subscribe na kayo sa YouTube channel ng Roof Chamber Radio Pinoy dahil tayo ay live streaming sa Facebook at sa YouTube. At kung sakali naman that you are not available to join us during the live stream show, huwag kayong mag-alala because you can watch the recorded live show, like I said, sa Roof Chamber Radio Pinoy Facebook page at sa YouTube din. And of course, pwede nyo rin kami mapakinggan sa ating sa Spotify, sa Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, Overcast, Pocket Cast, Listen Notes, and Radio Public. Ayan. Kaya naman, tune in and join us for a deep dive about legal matters that could possibly change your life. Ayan. Ang topic natin ngayon ay green cards. Ano nga ba ang green card? At bakit tinawag tong green card? At bakit ito ay napakahalaga in terms of immigration? Siyempre pa, hindi naman makukumpleto ang araw natin kung wala tayong special guest. Ang ating special guest ay he is an attorney licensed in New York and New Jersey. Yan. His areas of legal interest ay syempre pa immigration at criminal law. Ayan. He obtained his Juris Doctor from the City University of New York School of Law and his Master in Public Administration from Harvard University. He is also an alumnus of Columbia University's Police Management Institute. Police Management Institute. Kaya naman, huwag na kayo magtaka because he was a public service fellow at the Harvard Kennedy School of Government. He served 22 years in the New York Police Department, ang napakasikat na NYPD, retiring with the rank of Deputy Inspector in 2017. Ano ba itong Deputy Inspector lang naman siya lang naman the first and only Filipino to date to achieve this rank. Ayan, di ba? Sounds enticing because he's really very fortunate in the sense na very talented siya and he has the heart to help people, di ba? So, actually, hindi siya ang fortunate. Tayo ang fortunate dahil kasama natin siya ngayong araw na ito sa Usapang Off the Record. Kaya naman, samahan niyo ako na i-welcome natin dito sa Usapang Off the Record si Attorney Edward Carrasco. Ayan.
Hey.
Hi, Ed. Welcome to Usapang Off the Record.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. So, kumusta kayo dyan sa Texas?
Well, ano na kami ngayon parang springtime na talaga kami dito because our weather is, I think we went up to 75 today.
Wow.
So, ang lowest namin and 70 something na kami ngayon. How about dyan sa New York? Nasa New York ka ngayon, di ba?
Yep, freezing. Mga ano ngayon dito, 20 to 30
What?
Fahrenheit. So, ano yun? Zero yata yan Zero Celsius yata yan.
Yeah.
Freezing. So,
Freezing nga, yeah. I was there in New York 2 weeks ago and may snow pa nga ako naranasan. But when I came to Texas, wow, syempre, makita mo yung difference. Tapos pag nandun ka sa aeroplano, no, makikita mo yung baba, mga puti-puti, spot of white. And then pagdating ko, kasing airplane, pumunta ng ano yung connecting flight ko sa Florida. So iba naman ang ano, makita mo sa Florida, 'di ba? Tapos pagdating sa Texas, alam ko na Texas because it's so flat. Texas is a very so flat dito sa Texas, flat na flat. Sabi nga nila unlike sa ibang mga states may mga mountains. Even dyan sa New Jersey, 'di ba? Because you're also licensed in New Jersey at saka malapit lang New Jersey sa New York. Ilang minuto lang ba yung biyahe doon?
depende kung nasaan ka sa New York.
At
So,
sa bagay. Mm-mm.
yeah. Dito ako sa Long Island, so malapit lang sa Queens border. So, in
Oh.
1.5 hours siguro nandun na ako sa Jersey City.
I see,
Yeah.
yeah. So, pag nasa New York City ka, yung New York talaga, mga 30 minutes lang yan, I remember. I think patawid ka ng tulay, 'di ba, or tunnel?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Depende rin sa sa oras, pwede rin maging 2 oras
Depende
kung
sa traffic. Oo, tama yan kasi pag mga ano, pagka, heavy traffic yan siyempre ang tagal mo din dun sa ano, sa daan. Kahit saan naman yata may traffic, kahit dito sa Texas may traffic. Ang lalaki na ng mga daan namin dito, mga 5, 6, 7, 6 lanes, pero, traffic pa rin. Kaya anyway, alam niyo ba mga kaibigan, mga nanonood at nakikinig sa atin ngayon, na si Attorney Ed ay taga Bicol. Tama ba ako,
Camarines
Attorney
Norte,
Ed?
tama. Vinson's Camarines Norte po.
Oo. At ano, na-discover ko lang na parang kababayan, hindi naman kababayan kasi my mom is from Bicol sa Camarines Norte. So nagbakasyon din ako doon sa diet. So mahilig ka sa mga ginatan, 'di ba?
Oo,
Ganoon sa atin eh.
maanghang.
Maang ikaw ba yung ano, yung no, pumipitas ng siling and you just eat it like that? Yun na,
Ay,
yung
hindi naman.
red
Kailangan may
siling na
gata,
buyo?
nasa gata yung
Kailan nasa gitna?
oo.
Kasi I remember yung mga cousins ko talagang, alam mo yung mga siling nakahilera sa, plato nila. Tapos kinakagat lang nila na ano, parang chicharon. So sabi ko, "Oh my goodness." But, yeah. So nabanggit ko kanina 'no, bago tayo, pumunta dun sa ating, topic for today. Tell us a little bit about your experience sa NYPD. Bihira akong makamit ng, well, kahit not necessarily Filipino, bihira na. Mas lalo pa kaya kung Filipino, 'di ba, na nasa NYPD. Tell us a little bit about your experience there.
Oh, sure. So, sumali ako. It was around 1994, 1995. So, kinuha ko yung test 1990. And back then, medyo, maganda yung trabaho. Maraming gustong maging police. So,
Mhm.
usually, mga 2, 3, 4 years yung waiting list. So, nung kinuha ko yung test, nag-college ako, nakatapos ako, hindi pa ako tinatawag. Umuwi ako sa Philippines. So, nagtrabaho ako doon for over a year and a half sa Meridian Cellulars. Nagbebenta kami ng cellphone when
Mhm.
the NYPD called. So sabi nila, sige, kung gusto mo ng appointment, kung gusto mo maging police, pumasok ka sa Police Academy. And
Uh-huh.
binigyan ako ng date, mga April or something. So, wala, ayun na, umalis ako ng Pilipinas, bumalik dito. And ang nangyari, ayaw nila akong ituloy sa Police Academy kasi daw I was out of the country for more than 6 months. Kailangan daw Interpol check ako. So,
Mhm. Okey,
buti na
ganun
lang
pala yun.
may mabait na police doon na sinabi niya na, alam mo ano na lang, I'm gonna sign off on your paperwork kung may bumalik na record from overseas. Ano na lang, tatanggalin na lang tatanggalin ka na lang sa academy, hindi ka namin papagraduate. So yun. So mid-90s naging police na ako dito sa NYPD. And
Wow.
yeah, I mean medyo ibang panahon noon eh. Hindi kasing
Hindi
ganda.
kasing ganda. Mas maganda ba ngayon? Mas high-tech na mga ganyan ang ano, ang police
Mas
department?
low crime. So yung nung
Oh.
time na yun kasi akala ko kasi NYPD, right? I mean, yeah, nag-aaral ako dito before I went home to the Philippines. Dito ako nag-high school, dito ako nag-college. So yung alam kong New York is Manhattan, right? Kung
Yes,
saan
of course. Uh-huh.
Broadway, right? And
Uh-huh,
and
yes.
the mga Central Park, masarap na restaurant. Nung naging pulis ako, doon ko nalaman na may malaki talaga ang New York, na may Bronx at may Brooklyn. So doon ako pinadestino sa
Ako
Brooklyn.
doon, oo, oo. Yeah.
Sabi ko, ano ba naman neighborhood na ito? Hindi ko, akala ko
Oo.
sa Manhattan ako i-destino.
O,
So,
kasi yun ang alam natin, 'di ba, 'pag sinabi New York, wow, fabulous, mga daming magagandang places to see, tourism ang ano, 'di ba?
tama, tama. And then, nung naging police ako, it was just, temporary lang talaga siya. Sabi ko, alam mo, gagawin ko ito for, 2 or 3 years. Tapos,
Mhm.
gusto ko maging abogado, right? So, sabi ko, 2 or 3 years, tapos, na ako, maglo-law school na lang ako. And then, ayun na, 2 to 3 years became 5 years, naging sargento ako. Sabi ko, medyo okay
Yeah.
dito, may rank na ako. And then, wala, 5 became 8, naging teniente, 10, kapitan, pataas ng pataas. So, hanggang umabot ng 22 years. So,
Wow. Oo nga, eh. So you didn't really ano, dream of being, being a police officer, or kasi nag-apply ka, 'di ba? You were in the Philippines and then you're not sure what's gonna happen, right? As you got the call. So what was really your dream job, parang ganun, dream profession before, or police talaga din?
ano, ah, law talaga. But
Law talaga,
before law, gusto ko nung may hinahanap akong yung siyempre bata pa ako, I wanted to serve, right? So yung
Mm.
choice ko was either police or the military as an officer, so army officer. So yun yung dalawang choice. So nung umuwi ako ng Philippines, alam ko naman eventually babalik ako dito sa States, and I was either going to go to the police academy or mag-army ako, magiging na lang second lieutenant, right, teniente ano sa army, sa full time, yung active duty, and then law school.
And then of course, after that you became an attorney. So you left the NYPD. You went into private practice.
Tama. So I left in 2017, and then
Mhm.
nag-private practice ako. Well, technically I left 2016, pero sobrang dami kong bakasyon na umabot hanggang August 2017. And
Mhm.
during that time I was nagko-consult ako. So medyo consulting. I worked at the UN for about a year, and then yung kung marami kasi akong gustong gawin na mga hindi ko na nagawa as a police officer kasi bawal, right? May conflict of
Yeah.
interest. So,
Mhm.
hindi naman ako pwedeng mag-consulting nung active duty ako or work at the UN. So, ginawa ko lahat yon. And then wala, medyo nagbakasyon ng mahaba. So,
Well, parang ang sarap naman pakinggan ng
yeah,
bakasyon na
yeah.
mahaba, ano?
So,
So, nung
and
nag-practice ka na
COVID.
nung
So, it
oh,
lasted
yeah,
years.
2018, that's right, 27,
Yeah,
2018. 2019 ano na tayo, medyo pumapasok na sa COVID, ano 'yun, ano,
yeah.
time. So bakit ka nga pala immigration? I know a lot of Filipino American attorneys or Filipino attorneys na nagpunta dito. Mostly ang practice ay immigration. Pero ikaw, you were born here and you went into na-involved ka sa police, but ang practice mo pa rin ay immigration. Did you really plan to practice immigration, or it's because katulad ko din, maraming mga nagtatanong because we are immigrant, I am immigrant. So maraming mga nagtatanong na about immigration.
Yeah. So, hindi ko naisip, but initially criminal, right? Criminal defense,
Mhm.
and either prosecution or defense, kasi sa background ko it was all law enforcement, district attorney's office. And then over the years kasi yung mga kaibigan ko na abogado, halos lahat Filipino, and they were all immigration attorneys. I was
Oo.
exposed to immigration law and the practice of yung mga Filipino attorneys even before I left the force. So yung mga yung mga kaibigan ko na yeah, I guess who offered me a space in their office para yun nga hindi naman partner up, but just to syempre when you're first starting wala kang mga kliyente. So
Yes.
yeah, they all did immigration law. So medyo natuto rin akong mag-immigration law, and I found it fascinating, right? Sabi ko,
Mhm.
okay, maganda yung very challenging, di ba? Kasi very nuanced ang immigration law, right? I mean, if you're kung nandito ka sa US and you're applying for an immigration benefits, it's USCIS has jurisdiction. Pag nasa Pilipinas ka, it's the State Department. If you're in removal,
Yes.
it's the Justice Department. Parang,
Uh-huh.
it was like,
Very
wow,
interesting. That's right.
yeah,
Totoo
yeah.
yun.
So, yeah.
Yeah, so that's good that you're able kasi alam mo minsan kung sino yung nakakasama natin, 'di ba? Nagkakaroon tayo ng influence ng idea. Katulad ko nga rin noon when I started, sabi ko ano kayang magandang practice when they're asking me. Tapos may nagpayo sa akin na attorney na it depends on saan ka ma-expose. So just see just open your open the opportunities and see where you're going, where your practice is leading to. Yun ang ano doon. So, yeah, very interesting. At saka, like I said, mga kamag-anak natin, mga family relatives, mga friends, we are surrounded by Filipinos. So, mostly mga issues nila related to immigration, So, katulad nga ng topic natin ngayon, it's about green cards. Itong green cards talaga, ayan ang matunog yan green cards. Gaano ba ka-green ang green card? At bakit green ang tawag diyan? So anyway, ang ating topic ngayon, like I said, we have two important topics to discuss today. Una, yung it's all about green cards, right? So what are the reasons why your green card could be denied? And kung na-deny man yan, ano na ang pwede mong gawin? O kaya naman, paano maiwasan ang denial na ito, di ba? So, siguro before we start, eto na, we are diving into our topic for today, siguro bago natin i-discuss yung mga sagot doon sa mga katanungan na yon, let us give them an idea or explain a little bit about the green card. Bakit ito tinawag na green card? Ano ang kahalagahan ng green card? Yan.
Sure. So, I mean, green card is basically an identification if you are, a legal permanent resident. So, green card ang tawag dyan kasi noon panahon, green siya. And then it
Oo, green.
changed color, naging pink, di ba? Tapos ngayon, medyo may pagka-green na naman
Oo,
ulit.
light la, yeah.
Yeah, light green. So that's the reason. So that is pag may green card ka, ano na yan, you're an immigrant and you have intentions to stay here as an immigrant compared to tourist, right? Kung tourist ka, you have non-immigrant intent. Ibig sabihin nun ayaw mo dito sa United States, may balak kang bumalik sa Pilipinas. So yung tinanong mo kanina, reasons why green cards are denied, medyo yan right? Napakaraming
Oo, ano natin yan,
Kulang
natin
yata
yan sa
oras,
ano.
eh.
Yeah, we will keep it short and simple, but bago nga
Yeah.
natin i-discuss yan, I just wanna make sure that our audience understand what the importance of, bakit natin pinag-usapan ng green card. Ano nga ba ang mga benefits na makuha natin sa green cards? Katulad nga ng nasabi mo that you can stay here permanently. Other than being able to stay here permanently,
You can
okay,
become
what
a
else?
citizen. It's a
Oh,
pathway to
kahit hindi,
citizenship,
yeah,
right?
so it's a pathway to
Yeah,
citizenship. You're right.
yeah.
Yan.
You
And the
can
most
work
important, yan
legally.
one.
Yeah,
That's right.
you can go in and out of the country.
Mm-hmm.
Subject to some restrictions. Hindi ka
Of
pwedeng
course.
tumagal masyado. I mean, pwede kang umuwi sa Philippines for 1 month, 2 months, even 3, 4, 5. But hindi pwedeng yung uuwi ka sa Philippines for 3, 4 years and then babalik ka.
Oo. Meron kang certain limit. Otherwise, ma-abandon yung green card mo, di ba? So, it allows you to work. It allows you to go in and out of the country na hindi mo na kailangan mag-apply ng kung ano-anong visa, di ba? Because that's
Tama.
already your ticket to get into the United States again, di ba?
Yeah. It allows you to petition your spouse or your unmarried children.
That's right. Oh, you can bring your family over here by petitioning them, you as a green card holder. So, napakalaga talaga na meron ka niyan. Other than that, yung nabanggit mo kanina, yung makakapagtrabaho ka, syempre, how are you gonna support your life, living in the United States if you're not able to work legally, So that will allow you to work legally. Kaya napaka-importante ng green card. Kaya naman marami sa ating mga kababayan, syempre hangad na magkaroon ng green card because katulad din nabanggit na Attorney Ed, it is a pathway to citizenship. Para magkaroon ka ng opportunity after 3 or 5 years, pwede ka nang mag-apply as citizen basta makomply mo lahat yung mga requirements na kailangan mong i-comply under the na requirement ng USCIS. Ayan. So ngayon, naintindihan na natin ang kahalagahan ng green card at bakit napaka-importanting issue nito. Ayun nga ang mga may mga iba pang benefits pero yun mga main benefits na sa tingin namin ni Attorney Ed ay sapat na dahilan na bakit kailangan natin kumuha ng green cards yan. O bakit gusto ng mga kababayan natin na maka-obtain ng green cards. Ayan. Ngayon, of course, katulad nga ng nabanggit niya rin, pwede rin niyang ma-deny o pwede rin mawala yung green card mo. Although it's permanent, may mga reasons para na maaaring mawala sa yung green card mo. So kahit naman anong bagay, 'di ba? Pwedeng mawala. Ano bang ano?
Tama.
'Di ba? Kahit even US citizen pwedeng mawala. So it depends on may mga reasons. Ngayon, so ano yung mga dahilan para mawala yung green card mo, ma, tag dito, cancel? Is that the term that I'm supposed to use? Yan, kasi meron ka na-issuehan ka na ng green card eh. So, ano yung mga dahilan? So, may mga reasons. But, we want to focus right now, kasi napakalaking topic nito eh. So, right now, we want to focus on ano nga ba yung mga common reasons. Punta muna tayo dun sa application part yung bago
Right.
ma-issue yung green card mo. Kasi importante yun, bago ka magka-green card, kailangan ma-issue muna sa'yo yun. Kailangan mag-qualify ka, di ba? Pero may mga dahilan na pwedeng ma-deny. So, ano yung mga dahilan that your green card application could be denied? Yan. So, um, siguro hatiin natin Attorney Ed kasi malawak yung topic kasi a green card can be obtained in not just one way. Siguro punta tayo muna dun sa green card that can be obtained through family-based petition. And then let's discuss also the one that can be obtained through employment. So you
Sure.
want to go ahead and start with the family-based immigration green card muna para
Oh,
hindi
sure. Yeah.
magulo.
So,
Yes.
yung kagaya ng sinabi ni Attorney Aileen, there's a number of ways to get the green card, right? Yung sa mga Filipino, it's usually family petition. So, and there's two types, right? I mean, you're either an immediate relative or not immediate relative. So,
Mm-hmm.
ibig sabihin ng immediate relative, ano yan, walang quota yan, right? So, pwede kang mag-apply ka agad. May availability ka agad, and that is if yung petitioner ay US citizen na 21 years and over, and yung Filipino national, sabihin natin Filipino kasi karamihan naman ng mga clients natin Filipino, right? So is a spouse or an unmarried child or a parents, right? So yun yung mga tatlong categories na
Mm-hmm.
US citizen ka, pwede mo silang i-petition ka agad. And we'll go back to bakit importante na maging immediate relatives kasi maraming yan may maraming benefits yan na that wouldn't be available for those who are not immediate relatives. So yung mga hindi immediate relatives na pwedeng i-petition is if yung nagpe-petition sa iyo is a green card holder, right? So kung asawa mo is a green card holder at pinipetition ka niya, hindi ka immediate relative until they become a US citizen. Kung yung magulang mo na nagpe-petition sa iyo and you're an unmarried child is a green card holder, hindi ka immediate relative. Kung yung kapatid mo na US citizen or nanay mo na US citizen is petitioning their adult child, right? Or siblings, hindi rin sila immediate relative.
Mm-hmm.
Bakit importanteng immediate relative? Importanteng immediate relative, like I said, one, kasi walang quota. Pero if you are in the United States at nag-overstay ka, aka nag-TNT ka,
Mm-hmm.
you are working without a permit, kung immediate relative ka, napapatawad nila yan. So that's a very big plus, right? Kasi ganun, halos karamihan ng mga nagkakaroon ng green card dito na matagal ng undocumented
Mm.
unique ways para maging green card holder sila without having to leave the US to go back to the Philippines and come back. Nag-a-adjust status sa United States kasi either yung asawa nila ay US citizen or yung anak nila naging 21 na at pwede na silang i-petition.
Yes, very clear 'yan ano. So 'pag US citizen yung yung relative mo, let's say yung spouse mo or yung anak, yung child mo, they can file a petition for you kahit na nag-overstay ka ng visa mo, mapapatawad ka ng government. So US citizen yung nabanggit mo 'no, paano naman kung yung relative mo, lang green card holder pa lang? Mapapatawad din ba yung, let's say for example yung magulang o yung anak na nag-overstay, mapapatawad ba 'yan, makakapag-adjust ba rin ng status 'yan later on?
So, without requiring a waiver na medyo complicated at outside the scope na
Yes.
pinag-uusapan natin ngayon,
Mm.
the answer is no. So, ang
Generally,
preferred
'yan.
course of action, tama, ang preferred course of action, let's say ang ano um nag-overstay ka sa US for 2 years, 3 years, 4 years or whatever, undocumented ka dito at yung napang-asawa mo is a green card holder, hintayin mo na lang maging US citizen. Pag naging US citizen na yung spouse mo, dun magiging immediate relative ka na at mapapatawag nila yung
Yes.
yung
That's when
over.
you file for your adjustment
Tama,
of
tama.
status.
Absolutely.
Yes. So that is for family base ano. Eh, katulad din paano naman yung hindi pa sila, considered family kasi hindi pa kasal? So, marriages. So may mga kababayan tayo na, um, nandito na rin sa US pero na-overstay nila yung visa nila pero they are planning to, marry a US citizen. So mapapatawad din 'yun, 'di ba?
Yes, eventually, when they get married, kung ang magiging spouse mo is a US citizen, then mapapatawad nila ang overstaying and working without a permit mo.
'Yan, tama 'yan kasi may nagtanong nga sa'kin na before na, "Attorney, 'yun nga dati nga naka-tourist visa siya at tapos, bago naman mag-expire yung tourist visa niya, may nakilala naman siya." Siyempre 'di ba hindi mo naman maiwasan 'yun, 'pag pumasyal ka dito may mami-meet ka if you're single, you met somebody, maybe your destiny, you'll never know, 'di ba? And then you had an authentic relationship. And then later on, you decided to get married. Syempre yung tourist visa mo, let's say for example, 6 months lang yung binigay sa'yo. So, mag-expire na yung tourist visa mo. You are very, katulad yun nangyari, very worried na paano yung attorney, paano yung relationship namin, do I have to go back home or we can get married here na and so those are the questions, usual questions naman nare-receive namin. So usually ang tanong namin dyan is your fiance a US citizen or a green card holder? Diba? Napaka-importanting distinction na yun.
Right. No, absolutely, absolutely. And I'm glad nabanggit mo yon yung nandito ka on a tourist visa, malapit nang mapaso, what do you do?
Mm-mm.
Kasi that goes to the first example of a denial na
Mhm.
yung may saying dito, right? Like the road to hell is paved with good intentions. So ang marami akong nakikita dito na
Oo.
they are so ang sinasabi nila sa akin afterwards, right, when they are in deportation proceedings or
Mhm.
yung green card, ano bang nangyari? Well, malapit nang mag-expire yung yung tourist visa ko and may nakilala ako and we were planning to get married, ganyan ganyan, and nag-apply ako for an extension, right? For an
Mhm.
extension of visa. So pag narinig yung mga immigration lawyers, 'di ba, pag narinig 'yon, medyo tumataas na yung presyo natin.
Extension, oo, oo.
Yung singil natin, right? Kasi parang oo, bakit ka
Yes.
nag-apply for an extension, mali. And the reason I say that is halimbawa lang, right? I mean, we can't encourage you to overstay your visa or
Mhm.
encourage you to TNT. Pero halimbawa lang, let's say you have a tourist visa, may nakilala ka, right? Mr. Right or Mrs. Right. Uh, gusto niyo nang magpakasal. So pag napaso yung yung green card, yung yung tourist visa mo, okay lang, right? Kasi sinabi natin na ano, mapapatawad 'yon or
Mapapatawad ka, haha.
overstay. Ngayon, ang gagawin mo kung ano, kung mag-a-apply ka for a B2, B1, B2 extension, 'pag nakita mo yung ano, yung Form 539, right? Yung ano, yung questionnaire do'n sa mga na question 12, 13, may tanong do'n na, have you ever worked without authorization? Siyempre, sasagutin nila, no.
Oo,
Tapos pipirma ka doon na everything that you answered is truthful and
that's right.
importante, wala kang immigrant intent. So, uh, nanunumpa ka na wala kang balak magstay sa United States at kumuha ng green card. Pero
Mhm,
meron ka naman, 'di ba kasi nagwe-wedding plan ka na. So ngayon
oo.
isi-submit mo yung application na yon, nag-commit ka na ng may fraud ka na, nagsinungaling ka na sa US government. And ano yung sinabi namin kanina, anong mapapatawad nila? Working without authorization, right? And overstaying your visa. Hindi kasama diyan yung lying on
Mhm,
on an application to USCIS or fraud. Ngayon, ano ka na, you might be, pag nalaman nila na may bala ka talagang magstay, pag nalaman nila na pinaplano mo pala before you applied for the extension na magpakasal na, that's immigrant intent, maaring ma-deny ang green card mo. So, sometimes, it's better na wag ka na lang mag-apply ng extension kung doon din yung doon ka rin babagsak, right? So,
oo. Yeah, so very important yang na-raise mo na issue, Attorney Ed. And we will continue our discussion. We have some interesting questions here. Sa ating pagbabalik, we'll just pause for a short break.
sure.
Hello, I'm Mari Kaimo, Executive Director of a ministry called Roof Chamber Media, producers of The Roof Chamber Live. To date, the group has produced a total of 3 seasons, all but the first few episodes of which are available on YouTube, Facebook, Spotify, and other platforms. We have shows which talk about love and forgiveness, about the day to day struggles of Christian life, about the depth of the power and the beauty of the Word of God. Shows which explain how to find hope, joy, and salvation in the gospel of the Lord Jesus Christ. And there is so much more that we can do with your help. If you agree that the world needs to hear more of Jesus' message of unconditional love, forgiveness of sin, and salvation through Him and Him alone, would you consider becoming a Roof Chamber Media partner? Your monthly donations will keep this ministry going for as long as the Lord will have us minister through His grace. Our Patreon and Subscribe Star accounts info will be provided on our YouTube channel and Facebook page. Thank you for being a blessing, and thank you for your commitment to Roof Chamber Media.
And we're back. Nandito pa rin tayo sa Usapang Off the Record at kasama pa rin natin si Attorney Ed Carrasco. Ayan. Now, we have comments or questions here. Nagparamdam si Rusty Lopez at si Chino. But I think let's go ahead and read Chino's question first. I think it is, kumbaga, tama yung timing ng kanyang question. And then we will address yours later, Rusty. So, ano yung question ni Chino? Sabi niya, I know someone who married a US citizen to acquire citizenship living apart from each other. It was a marriage for convenience, obviously. My question is, how are the immigration officials monitoring cases like this? Ayan. Do you want to go ahead and answer that, Attorney Ed?
Sure. So, maraming mga ways. So, I mean, the first screening is during the application, right? Titingnan nila yung mga litrato, yung mga bona fides, yan ang tawag nila diyan. Basically, yung ebidensya na tunay yung relationship nyo. And then, of
Mm-hmm.
course, there is the immigration interview. Malalaman nila kung medyo suspicious or may mga minsan may sila, may mga listahan na medyo
Checklist, ano, yan.
yeah, cheat sheet ng mga
Oo.
ng mga adjudicators. Halimbawa, from different cultures, usually may na yan, may flag na yan. Pero depende, right?
Oo.
May client ako dati na siya, Muslim na doctor, and then napang-asawa niya was someone who was uh, uh, a different religion na may
Yes.
tatlo ng anak from two different fathers. So medyo ano na yun eh. Wait a minute. Medyo suspicious na yon.
Red flag. Yeah,
Yeah,
naka-red
red
flag.
flag.
Yeah.
So yung age gap, kung medyo masyadong malaking age gap, especially kung yung babae yung mas matanda.
Mga 20s, ano? Tapos,
That, yeah.
mga 60s. Yan, laki ng age gap.
Right. So they look at that, right? And then syempre di nila aaminin yan, right? I mean, medyo may bias din yung mga interviewers. So magtatanong sila ng mga questions to see kung suspicious yung mga sagot or hindi, or kung tama or hindi. And even if kabisado nyo yung isa't isa, right? Or nag-rehearse kayo, kung may suspicion sila, they have the may authority, they have the discretion to call you back for a second interview. So
Interview.
yeah. So dito sa New York, sa Second Circuit, ang tawag nila diyan is a Stokes interview. So pag nakakuha ka na ng letter for a Stokes interview, na yan, ibig sabihin diyan na sila, may suspicion na sila.
They're scrutinizing your application talaga.
Exactly. So pagdating mo sa interview, hiwalay kayo, right? I mean, hindi
Ibang type na, ibang situation niya.
Tama. So talagang iko-question yung asawa mo for sometimes up to 2 hours. Tapos iko-question ka ng up to 2 hours din minsan, and then titingnan nila kung kung may mga anomalies yung sagot nyo. At the same time, there's may mga special agents din na nagtatrabaho for Homeland Security, HSI investigation, na pwede ka rin nilang sundan or puntahan sa bahay or magtanong-tanong sa mga kapitbahay kung talagang tunay kayo. And more importantly, when you get a green card through marriage, most of the time ang makukuha mong green card is what they call conditional green card. So good for 2 years lang yan. So after 2 years, kailangan mong mag-apply ulit to remove the condition, and
That's right.
usually there's a there's another interview. And so talaga, there's ways to to
Determine.
learn, to determine yan. The other way na mahuhuli ka is may magsusumbong, right?
Of course.
Usually may ex-spouse or friend or whatever na susulatan nila yung USCIS at susumbong sila. And a lot of times, even years after, nalalaman din nila kasi yung napang-asawa nilang US citizen, medyo nasarapan sa kinita nila kasi usually malaki yung bayad dyan, na inulit nila, tapos inulit na naman ulit nila na may pattern.
Oh, yes.
Wala ka ng kasalanan. Well, meron kang kasalanan, but wala ka ng ginagawa. Pero yung pala, yung spouse mo is setting a pattern. So ngayon, ang gagawin nila, pag nahuli yung US citizen spouse na yun, na most of the time,
Fraud
matagal
na.
na kayong divorced, right? Kasi nakuha mo na yung green card mo, binayaran
Yes.
mo siya, nahuli na lang sila 10 years later kasi may nagsumbong sa hindi sa marriage nyo, yung pangalawa or pangatlong wedding ng US citizen na yon. Titingnan nila lahat ng mga naging asawa ng US citizen na yan, at lahat ng pinetition niya, at pwede nilang buksan ulit yung record and to reinvestigate. So yun yung ways na mahuhuli. And even if you are a US citizen, pwede kang
Pwede lang bawiin yon.
to denaturalize. Ang rin dito, ang unintended consequences is pag you took part in a marriage fraud, hindi lang ikaw yung maaring matanggalan ng green card or US citizenship. Lahat ng mga na-petition mo, lahat ng mga nakinabang sa pagiging green card holder mo or US citizenship mo, lahat sila madadamay. So even if let's say eventually naging green card holder ka, pinetition mo yung yung anak mo, right, na unmarried, pati yung anak mo, kahit bata lang siya,
Madadamay yan.
na nang pumunta sa States, matatanggalan sila ng green card. I've had clients na bata nung dumating dito, right? When I say bata, I mean like 6 years old, 7 years old, and then as a stepchild, tapos no, ngayon na ano na sila in their 20s, they're in their 30s, hindi pa sila nag-naturalize, nahuli yung yung parents, natanggalan ng matatanggalan sila ng green card even though wala
Yeah.
silang kasalanan.
Pati sila madadamay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yan. Talaga naman ang marriage fraud talaga yung pinakaiiwasan ninyo yan. Kasi katulad na ng nabanggit ni Attorney Ed, kahit na makalusot kayo man dyan, makuha niyo yung green card ninyo, eventually mag-naturalize kayo at maging US citizen na kayo, ay pwede nilang bawiin yung citizenship niyo dahil nga marriage fraud yan. At lahat ng mga sangkot, lahat ng mga nag-benefit from that marriage ay madadamay din. So, wag na lang please. Tsaka syempre 'di ba,
And ano yan there's no,
mm,
hindi pwedeng i-cure yan. So,
no,
so kung
that's
ikaw
that
yung
is right.
kung ikaw yung participant, ano na yan, that's a lifetime ban from getting
Mhm.
any immigration benefits in the United States. So hindi pwedeng sabihin, ay nahuli ako, natanggalan ako ng green card, pero okay lang kasi yung asawa ko ngayon, tunay naman talaga ito. Kahit tunay yan, kahit
Meron ka pa ring ginawa, may record ka pa
yeah,
rin.
you are banned. That's a
Yeah.
lifetime ban from ever getting any immigration benefits pag nahatulan ka ng fraud finding. So, ano yun kahit ano ka na, may bago ka ng asawa na US citizen ng mga anak nyo,
Mhm.
sobrang tagal mo na dito na ano ka na, nakalimutan mo ng mag-Tagalog, right? Wala kang
Oo,
uh, that's a lifetime na yan na
that's
hindi ka
right.
pwedeng mag-adjust ulit. So once nahatulan ka ng marriage fraud.
Ayan. Kaya naman talaga napakaimportante na iwasan natin talaga na masangkot kayo diyan sa fraud. Any type of fraud naman talaga is
Yeah,
doesn't
not
have a good result o consequence. Ayan. So, meron tayo dito, si Lenny, ay nagpaparamdam. Hello Lenny Busyal, blessed morning sabi niya. At, ngayon naman bago natin address yung question ni Rusty um let's go to the denial, yan. So, nabanggit na natin yung mga reasons na paano made-deny yung green card mo. Ngayon naman, siyempre kung alam mo na yung reasons kung paano ma-deny, alam mo na rin yung reasons paano maiwasan, 'di ba? Yun ang dun, ang kagandahan kung alam mo kung ano yung mga dahilan ng denial, iwasan mo na yun. Katulad ng marriage fraud, iwasan mo na yan para hindi ka ma-deny. Yung mga, ah incorrect yung mga hindi totoo yung mga nilalagay mo dun sa application mo, 'di ba? Because you are, actually signing there that, totoo lahat yun and then all of a sudden hindi pala. So, yun ang mga isa sa yung mga common reason bakit made-deny. Ngayon, ano naman, let's say for example na-deny nga yung niya, yung green card application niya. Ano naman kayang puwedeng, magawa para may solusyon ba ito? Siguro yun ang magandang tanong. Meron pa bang puwedeng, magawa doon? Puwede pa bang ma-cure yung, denial na yon? And I think dito papasok din yung question ni Rusty Let's put up Rusty Lopez, question here on the screen. Yan ang sabi niya, if the application for green card is denied, mas maganda bang mag-ask ng motion for reconsideration or motion to reopen the case or just refile the case sa USCIS? Siguro bago natin sagutin yan, let's have a short break.
Hi, we are so pleased to be with you. Thank you for being with us. We want to invite you to be part of the Difusión Latina, Portal de Fe. We are the Spanish ministry of Roof Chamber Radio, and we are so blessed to be with these guys all around the world. Please be with us on YouTube and Facebook. We would love very much to know how God is blessing you, and please come along and support us. God bless you, and see you then.
At syempre pa, nagbabalik muli kami dito sa Usapang of the Record with Attorney Ed. Ayan, alam niyo tong yung topic natin napakalawak at napakaikli ng oras natin So there's so much things to discuss. We barely touched the tip of it, right? Ayan, so let's go back to Rusty Lopez question. We already read it a while ago, no?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if
Yeah, so let me go ahead and do that again. Okay? So if the application for green card is denied, sabi niya, mas maganda bang mag-ask ng motion for reconsideration or motion to reopen the case or just refile the case sa USCIS na lang ulit?
Yeah. So ang sagot diyan is very lawyerly, right? Depende.
Depende, yes.
So, well, sometimes yes, sometimes no. Kasi believe it or not, may mga nakita akong mga denial yung green card, right? Denial of green card, pero good denial. So, believe it or not, there is such a thing as a good denial. So,
Mhm.
two cases that I know of is one denied yung green card kasi yung pala US citizen na siya, hindi niya alam na US citizen na siya kasi yung
Oh, okay.
yeah, he naturalized when his parents naturalized kasi bata pa siya,
Oo.
kala niya hindi pa siya green
Tas
card.
nag-apply
Kala niya
siya.
hindi siya, yung pala US citizen na. So
Mm.
right, yung mga so that's a good denial, or yung pala green card holder ka na, hindi mo lang alam or nawala yung paper, kala mo TNT ka, yung pala green card holder ka na. So whether you apply or not, it depends kung for reopening or reconsideration, depends kung mamimit mo yung mga requirements, right? Kasi yung window niyan to reopen is very short, right? I mean, you have a few days to send your $675 in para
Yeah.
ma-open,
To re-
ma-reconsider. Tapos yung hinihingi nila hindi mo pa namimit, right? And
Mhm.
when pag na-deny yung green card mo, marami mga reasons. I mean, generally, it's either yun nga yung hindi ka qualified, may administrative error, or may technical error dun sa mga paperwork na sinubmit mo, or sa mga sinagot mo. May character issues ka na
Mhm.
hindi mo nabanggit, or may arrest record ka na hindi mo dinisclose, or masyadong malala na hindi ka talaga hindi ka qualified, or yung petitioner, yung US citizen or green card holder na nagpe-petition sa iyo, siya naman yung palpak, right? Hindi mo kasalanan, yung petitioner ang
Oy, yung
kulang.
support, kulang pala yung kanyang income, 'di ba, to
Right.
support you. Yeah.
Yeah, support, or other issues like
Yeah.
hindi pa pala sila divorced nung pinakasalan ka, or yung
Oo.
divorce paperwork niya is peke pala, so hindi siya divorced. So kung
Mm.
hindi pa divorce yung kung hindi properly divorced yung asawa mo, hindi kayo kasal in the eyes of USCIS.
Yes, of
So
course.
hindi kayo kasal, paano ka mape-petition? And then lastly is mga anomalies sa interview or anything discovered during the interview. Ngayon, kung magre-reopen ka, siguraduhin mo lang na kung ano yung reason, right? Kasi pag dineny ka, may rason 'yan. They have to tell you kung bakit i-deny nila yung green card. Hindi lang 'yan, denied basta-basta na walang rason, right? So, tingnan mo lang kung talagang masasubmit mo yung mga hinihingi nila. So, kung halimbawa hindi sila naniniwala na divorced ka, or divorce yung napang-asawa mo, or they found na hindi valid yung divorce, bakit ka
Yes.
magre-reapply, right? Ang uunahin mo is yung divorce paperwork na sisiguraduhin mo na tama or pulido yung paperwork, or magpakasal ka ulit if ang yun yung rason. So hindi yan naaabot sa 1 month window bago mag-apply. Ngayon, kung may character issues, you might need a waiver. So sayang naman yung reopening, right? Na sinabi na sa iyo na hindi ka pwedeng maging green card holder kasi mahilig kang uminom at nakailang DWIs ka na. So bakit ka
Mhm.
magre-reapply? Madi-deny ka lang, right? Kasi
Oo.
wala kang reason para i-appeal 'yon. Ah,
Yeah.
Ngayon, kung medyo madali lang i-meet yung mga pagkukulang mo, let's
The
say,
requirements.
yeah,
Mm.
requirements, let's say income ng asawa mo, you can well, technically they never should have interviewed you, right? Pero minsan may mga nakakalusot din. So that's the one thing about the interview. Bago ka i-call for an interview, preliminarily you should be good. Kasi kung may
Mhm.
kulang, sasabihin nila sa iyo, right? I
Yeah.
mean,
They
hindi
will
mo
request for
iisip.
yung RFE yan, request for additional evidence, mga ganyan.
Tama, tama yung mga ganon, or sometimes hindi ka abot sa interview, they'll just
Deny you
dismiss.
out. Deny, yes.
Tama, kasi either well, most of the time sa mga Filipinos, yung mga rason for denial is hindi nila mabasa yung birth certificate mo, masyado ng ilang beses na nakopya, right? So so make sure you have originals para kung sakasakali padala mo yung originals. Kung ang kulang diyan is the sponsor, then you get a joint sponsor. Pero yung mga ibang reasons na hindi talaga madali, then I wouldn't even bother. So ano pa bang mga ibang reasons for denial na madali lang? Lack of bona fides, usually yan madali lang kung tunay talaga kayong kasal. It could be just getting affidavits or more pictures or something. So lack of bona fides means hindi sapat yung ebidensya na
Yeah.
sinabit mo para maniwala sila na tunay kayong mag-asawa. So usually kung marami kang pictures from vacations na hindi mo na i-submit, pwede mong i-submit during that open period. Pero kung ang denial is lack of bona fides kasi medyo hindi kayo magkasama sa isang bahay, right?
Yeah.
Magkasama kayo and hindi sila naniniwala na tunay yung relationship mo. Paano mo magiging paano mo
Para
sila
makikure yun,
right?
yes.
Yeah, in 30 days,
That's
anong
right,
sasabihin
30
mo na,
days.
yeah, we moved in. Kahit mag-move in kayo within 30 days, sasabihin na, well, nag-move
That's
in
not,
kayo kasi
just because
dapat,
of that
yeah,
reason. So it's harder to convince them now. Siguro
yeah,
alam mo, attorney, ang pinakamadali diyan na i-cure. Ito nangyayari 'to, kasi I'm not saying na 'wag niyong gawin yung mga nagse-self-filing, kasi kung alam niyo naman talaga kung paano gawin, why not, 'di ba?
right.
Pero may mga na-encounter kasi rin ako na ang denial lang, as simple as mali yung form na ginamit or as simple as expired na yung form kasi 'di ba may expiration yun kung ano yung form na current. Kung filing ka, paper filing ka, 'di ba? So yun yung mga sayang lang na gastos tapos magre-refile ka kasi nga mali lang yung form mo. Siguro ang, masabi namin, whatever is the reason for your denial, please, consult an attorney. Kasi depende nga yun sa reason ng denial mo para hindi mo na ma-aggravate pa yung situation mo. Consult an attorney who is competent, and is practicing immigration para ma-represent ka ng tama. Kasi siyempre mahirap na nagkamali ka na, eh. Kumbaga meron ka ng, nasa listahan ka na ng USCIS. So gusto mong ma-cure yun o kung may pag-asa ka pa, para hindi ka na magkaroon ng mas marami pang, sayang na money, time, tsaka yun nga yung opportunity mo to cure it, consult an attorney. Yun ang lagi nating sinasabi. I'm not saying that you cannot
Agree.
represent yourself. Like I said, if you know your stuff, you know what you're doing, why not go ahead? Yan. Pero
Yeah.
syempre, you have to face the consequence kung ano yung ginawa mo, di ba? Yung final mo. Ayan, attorney, ang dami-dami nating pwede mapagkwentuhan. But we have here some guest na nagpaparamdam, not guest, mga ating mga tagapanood at tagapakinig na nagpaparamdam. We just wanna say hi to Delia Ligot. She's my mom. She's in Australia. Siyempre, yan aking number one fan. Sabi ko sa kanya, watch my show lagi. So, lagi siya nagpaparamdam. And Emmy Ligot din, she's in the Philippines. Sabi niya, hello, watching from Cavite. Ayan. And meron tayong dalawang questions. So, do we have time to address this one? We have 2 minutes. Yeah. So let's go ahead and read or Orly R. Dison's question. Can we put that up? Yeah. This is interesting, with the current situation of Jose Antonio Vargas, meron pa bang pag-asa si Jose Antonio Vargas na ma-legalize ang stay or magkaroon ng green card? Yan. So, who is Jose Antonio Vargas? Do we know he became so popular later. What was it? 2 years ago? Well, significant. But actually, may picture nga kami together because he went to Houston, and I had the opportunity to meet him in one of the parang information session na ginawa niya. So you wanna go ahead and talk about that or address this
Sure.
inquiry?
So
Yes.
you know anything is possible, right? So ngayon maraming mga naghihintay na nag-aasa na magkakaroon sila ng green card even though they're not, they wouldn't be typically eligible, gawa ng mga promises by the current administration. And yung kasi this current administration, they're working on, they're working on expanded immigration rights. Ang problema lang kasi is hindi ganun kadali, right? I mean, it's complicated. Wala yan sa presidente to change the law. I mean, he can have executive orders, pero that's very different kasi, yung Kongreso ang kailangan mag-change ng law. They have plenary authority when it comes to immigration.
Yes.
And yan it's very complicated yan na hindi natin maisasagot sa
Sa lalong madaling panahon. Yeah,
so, yeah.
Yeah, actually,
But
tamang sinabi mo eh.
Yeah.
The immigration
I'm
law is very
Yeah.
I think it's the most unstable law kasi pwede siyang magbago agad-agad or mabilis, makonti. So it's always changing, 'di ba? Katulad ng
Yeah.
sinabi mo. So
And
maybe
iba
may
yung
like
standards Iba yung standards when it
yeah.
comes to immigration law. You don't have the full protection that
Mm-mm.
kung US citizen ka, right? Kasi immigration courts is, ang tawag dyan is another Article 1 courts, hindi siya Article 3 courts. So medyo mababa yung yung mga standards, yung full rights mo wala dyan. So it's very complicated and discretionary a lot of times, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's true. So yun naman ang ating may sasagot diyan, Orly Dizon. Ito last question na siguro to with sorry we don't have a lot of time, but I think this is the last question that we can address. Yung kay Shell Daseco. Hi Shell, sabi niya, just recently the Biden administration approved the temporary protected status for the citizens of Ukraine. Is this a path for green card? Ooh, this is very hot ngayon, issue kasi nga yung sa war sa
Very new,
Ukraine.
very topical, right?
Yes.
Nangyari lang. Well, yeah, I mean, obviously, I mean, ang benefit dyan sa TPS is, one, you can get work authorization, so you can start
Yes.
working.
Mm-hmm.
You could get advanced parole, right? And you can travel outside of the country kung ma-approve siya. I mean, for Ukraine specifically, hindi pa natin nakikita, right? Kasi bagong-bago lang. But anytime you are able to stay here, you of course increase the chance of you getting a green card or path to citizenship. So anong ibig sabihin yan? Will you get your green card solely for being being on TPS? Well,
Yes.
right now it's I mean, we don't know what the future is going to hold, right? Pero
That's right. Bagong-bago kasi yan eh.
yeah, bagong-bago kasi. And more importantly, hindi ka cut off dun sa mga traditional ways to get the green card. So kahit TPS ka ng matagal, 1 year, 2 year, 3 years, 4 years, kung may nakilala kang US citizen at nagpakasal kayo, then
Oo.
na yun, yun na yung way mo. So at least you can stay here while maghanap ka ng true love or maging 21 and over yung anak mo para mag-decision ka. So it's definitely possible, right?
Yeah. There are other ways, not necessarily from directly from the TPS na binigay sa'yo, but there are other ways that you can also acquire green card by it depends on the opportunity na dumating habang nandito ka nga legally na nag-stay ka dito sa US. Yan.
Yeah, there's work, right? I mean, there's work-related green cards.
Mhm.
You have asylum. You have maraming mga visas, VAWA, T visas, U visas, napakarami.
That's right. Nako, we only have 2 minutes or 1 minute left. Okay, so maraming salamat, Attorney Ed, at pinaunlakan mo ang ating invitasyon sa'yo. I know that you are very busy, but you found time to join us and share your knowledge and expertise sa ating mga kababayan na nakikinig at nanonood sa atin ngayon. Sana ay maimbita ka pa namin ulit sa iba pang pwede nating discuss ulit ito. I-continue ito later on kapag depends sa schedule mo, of course. Ayan. Maraming salamat. At syempre pa, kung if you have any questions for me, just go to our website, legaltisonlaw.com. You can send me a message or schedule appointment, and andun lahat ang ang mga links yan. And syempre pa, maraming salamat din sa ating technical team, si Cal ngayon, Cal Kaimo, si Fenji Villasin, at saka syempre si Ponce Alvarez. Ayan, ako, it's already 9:59
Thank
dito sa time
you.
namin sa Texas, at 10:59 na dyan sa East Coast. Kaya naman, sa mga nanood at nakinig, maraming salamat. You spend your time with us. Sana meron kayong natutunan at maibahagi nyo rin yung knowledge na natutunan nyo sa amin, sa iba pang mga kababayan natin na nangangailangan. I'll see you next week sa isa na namang Usapang After Record. Have a great weekend, everyone.
Thank you for having
Make
me.
it, yes, worth it.
Weekend.
Thank you, Attorney Ed.
Cheers.
Yes.
Ingat kayo dyan.
Ayan.
Bye.